Look, I'm a noob that hasn't even been close to beat Minecraft ever, but in this video I will try and beat it in a super flat world. But how are you supposed to beat the game here, you ask? Well, you'll see. Okay, I spawned on this world, and the first thing I decided to do is to get some dirt blocks, cause you're gonna need some blocks sometime anyway. Then I got some food, but if you're trying to beat the game, you'll need to find a tree and get some wood, but it doesn't seem to be any trees here, right? Wrong. There are trees in this world. In villages. So after I got some food, I set my render distance to maximum and started to run straight forward, hoping to find one. The issue was I had no idea how rare the villages are and how long I would need to run for, but eventually I ran into a village. Since I still didn't know how rare they are, I assumed they are pretty rare. I decided to get a lot of stuff here. And I mean a lot. I was thinking about mining every block of every building for real, but I was too lazy for that, so I just got like plenty of wood and stone and some iron for my golem. So I got stone tools already, a shield and an iron axe. I also got a bunch of useless stuff like torches, carrots, potatoes and some seeds, assuming I will get those later. Yeah, I thought that villages are going to be quite rare. But god, how wrong I was. I could have like 4 villages rendered at the same time. Well, the first village was kinda small, so I went to a bigger one. And here I found a Fletcher. So I went to collect some wood for sticks. Well, a lot of wood. I traded with a Fletcher for emeralds, and I also bought some arrows and a bow. Well, they actually brought 2 Fletcher villages I traded with, but whatever. I also bought some redstone and lapis, which was a mistake because, well, I would never use that. I stayed in that village for quite a while, but eventually I moved on to the next one. Nothing special, I just looted it and moved to the next one, and to the next one, and another one, and that's pretty much it. The idea is just to go to villages, get stuff there, and sleep at night. That's pretty boring if you ask me, but in the 6th village I visited, something really important happened. A local librarian villager sold me an infinity book, which I'll later apply to my bow, and that will help me a lot. But I still wasn't lucky enough to find a blacksmith. Yeah, all those 6 villages I had visited didn't have one. Luckily in the 7th one there was a blacksmith, and I finally got a piece of iron armor. But not only there was a blacksmith in the village, there also was a stronghold nearby, so I looted it as well. I got a pearl, some bread and whatever the hell this is. I also mined some bookshelves for some books so that I can trade with librarians and get enchantments. Next thing I did is I made 3 buckets, 1 for lava and 2 for water, so I can make an infinite source of water. And it seems like I'd better to make those before I went to the stronghold, but whatever. Lava bucket is actually so OP. I could not risk my life anymore while fighting slimes. I could just use my lava bucket and slimes are gone. You can also kill iron golems this way and they won't get mad at you. You gotta be careful to not drum golems drop though, but there's a lot of villages and therefore a lot of golems, so that's not that big of an issue. And also buckets never break, which makes lava buckets even more OP. So lava bucket became my best friend here, and in real life as well. I don't have any more friends. Then I found another blacksmith where I got a helmet, and I also traded with a weaponsmith and he gave me a sword, a fire aspect enchanted sword. That is huge. I can now stop using lava to get cooked food. That made things much easier for me. I tested it on a weaponsmith villager immediately and it works. Fantastic. In the 3rd blacksmith I didn't find anything useful, and here in this exact village I realized that this shit is really boring and I can't take it anymore. So I decided to take a horse so that I can run faster. I had been playing for like 2.5 hours already, so I cannot destroy such an upgrade, except the horse wasn't that fast. It was just a little bit faster than a player, so that means I'll need to get another horse. But just a bit later I got really lucky. Remember that 3rd blacksmith? Well, right in the next village there was another blacksmith, then just one village without one, and the next one had another blacksmith where I got diamonds. Also in this exact village I tamed a faster horse, so that's pretty convenient even though I need 3 diamonds for a pickaxe and I only got 2, but it's okay. I also would need a full set of iron armor and I was thinking to get it right from blacksmith, but I wasn't quite lucky with that, so I just crafted one. Little did I know that it wouldn't prevent me from almost dying like 10 minutes later. You see, I found a stronghold. Yeah, another one. They are this easy to find here. And sure thing I tried to loot it, but strongholds are spawned exposed in the air here and they're really high. And you guessed it right, I fell. And I clutched it, which is already an achievement for me. I mean, I had been playing Java for like a week then, and that was pretty much my first warrior clutch. But it was so cool that I decided to leave that in. And yeah, eventually I had this stronghold looted, and I found there this OP book for my future diamond pickaxe. I can't describe how happy I was. After like 30 minutes riding between villages and getting almost a full stack of iron, I finally decided to craft an anvil, which was used to apply infinity enchantment to my bow right after. So yeah, I now have an infinity bow and that is so cool. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I got my horse burnt. Wait, that's in the script. it says I forgot to mention, which is really sad, so I tamed the new one, which was kinda slow but still okay. A few minutes later I found an iron horse armor for it, and minutes after that I found a much faster horse and tamed it. And yeah, this one will make it to the end. And as my fire aspect cooking sword was breaking, I needed to fix it, and that's where it got its name, Food Cooker, cause it gets food cooked, pretty obvious. As you can probably see, while I'm fixing my sword, I'm in a blacksmith, and that's where I got lucky again. This blacksmith didn't have anything useful in it, but there I found 4 villages with a blacksmith in a row. When I get there, I got a diamond horse armor, which is really cool, and then I found a 3rd diamond, so I finally crafted a diamond pick and gave it those OP enchantments, and I was super happy about that. Now that I got a diamond pick, it's time to go to the Nether, and since I hadn't found a single block of obsidian in blacksmith's chest after almost 5 hours of gameplay, I came up with a different strategy. I decided to get those 2 lavas and blacksmiths, turn them into obsidian, and mine them with my pick. I'll make those blacksmiths give me obsidian, and you just gotta watch this. Yeah, I mined that obsidian in like 4 seconds instead of 9. Efficiency 3 peak is nuts. So I got 2 blocks of obsidian and I had 8 more to go, which means I had to find 4 more blacksmiths unless I find some obsidian in their chests. But in the very next blacksmith I found not obsidian but 2 more diamonds, which meant that I gotta get just 1 more for my axe. And yeah, I prefer axes over swords, don't ask me why. And guess what happened next? In the very next village there was a blacksmith, and in the blacksmith there was a diamond. Perfect! So I made a diamond axe, but that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to have enchantments on my axe too, so I started to look for some librarian villages so that I can get some OP enchantment books, and soon enough I found a stronghold. And guess what I got there? A Prot 3 book and a Sharpness 3 book. I'm not cheating, I swear. And I fell from this stronghold the same as from the last one, but this time I failed to clutch and died for the first time in this world. Good thing that's not a hardcore world. Minutes after that I found a librarian selling a Mantin book, and I was this close to loot that book forever because I wouldn't end up breaking one, and I didn't know yet what the main enchantment is. What is this? Mantin. That's not what I need. I don't even know what Mantin is. Let me just check it real quick. Oh my god, that's actually a really good achievement. Let's go. I applied that enchantment to my axe and it was just so perfect, just too good to be true. And that's kinda how this is. I didn't know yet that this OP axe will once be gone forever. But anyway, we were 1 blacksmith away of getting enough obsidian for another portal, and in the very next village there was one. Actually no, there were 2 of them, and one of them had obsidian in the chest. And yeah, that's the first blacksmith that had obsidian in it, but that's still a huge win. Now we can go to the Nether. I built the portal, but there was an issue. You see, it is pretty much impossible to get gravel in the overworld, which means that I couldn't have a flint steel to light up the portal with. But there was a solution. Another portal can be lit with lava, so I tried to do that, and even though I failed multiple times, I managed to light up the portal this way. Yes! I was really anxious about going to the Nether, since it was pretty much my first time going there in Java version, so I prepared really well. I left my most valuable stuff in a chest in the overworld and made some golden armor so that piglins won't attack me. After all that, I was ready to go in. Let's go. Let's just go. First thing I noticed in the Nether is that my pick is OP. Like, really OP. Then I mined some blocks with my OP pickaxe and wrote down the coordinates of my portal. But couldn't you just mine the portal, you ask? Yeah, I could, but I lose some of my most valuable stuff at my horse. And I was not okay with that. Beating Nether in Superflat is not really different from beating one in the default world, so I won't be really detailed here. The only thing that makes this interesting is that I'm a noob and surviving in the Nether is kinda hard for me. Still, I found the foils in basalt deltas, which took me like half an hour to do, and there was a lot of wizard skeletons, which to me, as a noob player, were pretty dangerous. Good thing I had really good stuff. But there was another mob type that was hard to deal with. Blazes. And the worst thing is, I was actually forced to fight them because I needed blaze rolls to beat the game, which is obvious, that's literally the reason why you even go to the fortress. But nevertheless, that was a real challenge for me. My god. That's ridiculous, bro. Yeah, I wasn't getting that low, but dying here was just unacceptable. I was 1,000 blocks away from the portal, which means that dying here will lead to losing all of my OP stuff, so I would need to spend another 6 hours to get those back, so being in the fortress was really anxious. Luckily, I managed to pull this off and quit the fortress alive with 7 blaze rods, so that means that nothing bad can happen anymore, I thought. And I was mistaken. Because that was the moment where all that luck I was gaining in the overworld was going to be compensated with the worst thing ever happened to me in this survival. You see, I just exited the fortress and I was about to exit Battle Deltas, but I had to make it over this piece of lava lake, so I decided to use my only ender pearl for that. So what could go wrong here? Would I lose my pearl for nothing? Or would my pearl drown me in lava? Or would it suffocate me in a wall? You will never guess right what happened. Watch this. But it's still like, okay, I think. Could I just draw an ender pearl? I have one. Wait. Yes! I accidentally dropped my OP axe in lava by pressing a wrong key on my keyboard. That was so unexpected, stupid and unfortunate in the same time that I could not even believe in what happened. I was just staring in that lava lake speechless, struggling to realize what I did and being close to fainting. I was just staring and doing nothing for seconds. I was thinking a lot. I went through all those stages of grief and I was even thinking about getting that axe back using cheats. But I found strength within myself to resist that urge and keep playing. And only after all of that, I actually reacted out loud. Wait. Did I just... No. Oh my god. You're not gonna believe me. I just drew my axe into the lava just by accident, bro. What? Just press the wrong key. Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid. I still have a food cooker. Even though I still had a food cooker and I also could craft an iron axe, that still kinda put my life in danger. Considering how unexperienced I was as a player, that OP axe would be really useful to me. But that was not even all. After that I was using my anvil, and while being worried about my axe more than an anvil, I didn't notice that when I broke it, I didn't pick it up because my inventory was full. And I would notice that when it would be too late. Where's my anvil? What? Where's my anvil? What the fuck? Anvil it's just gone. Good thing at least I didn't lose my pick, cause otherwise it would be really challenging to get back to my portal. Getting pearls was also pretty challenging, cause piglins wouldn't give them and enderman wouldn't drop them, but somehow I managed to get 9 pearls, which combined with those pearls I left in the overworld is exactly 12, and I lived and left the nether. Well, the next thing I was supposed to do is to go to the end and fight the ender dragon, for which to get done, I will obviously need an OP axe, so I started wandering between villages again to get diamonds for one. I also was looking for librarians to get some enchantments from, and all that was taking a really long time. At some point I made a flint steel using gravel from the nether to be able to burn houses in villages faster and easier, which was a lot of fun. Well, that also worked as an indicator that I've been to the given village because it's burned, so if I ran into a village I've already been to, I would know immediately, which was pretty smart, even though I wasn't using that much. I also eventually made a new anvil since I had lost the old one, so I kinda started recovering. Anyway, back to a new OP axe. That was taking ages. After like an hour of wandering, I just had found 2 diamonds. But another like 20 minutes later, I kinda got lucky. A sharpness 3 efficiency 4 book. Those enchantments were so OP that I was okay with the curse of vanishing, cause never would I ever find such a book late, so I took it from a future axe that hadn't even been created yet. And I also found a Prot 3 book which I applied to my pants later. That means that I'm now half Pro 3, which is cool. Minutes later I find kind of an OP blacksmith, but the most important thing here is that now I have enough diamonds for an axe, so I crafted one and applied those enchantments to it. One last thing I needed to complete my axe is a mending enchantment, so I was trying my best to get it from my librarian, and I couldn't find it anywhere. What I succeeded to find is 2 more diamonds so that I can craft a new axe if I die and lose one with a curse. But mending enchantment was still nowhere to be found. I was looking for it for hours and still couldn't find one. I had traveled like 30 kilometers to the west already and still no book, and I kept seeking it before I realized something. Wait, I have Curse of Vanishing on my axe, which means that if I die with it just once, I lose it forever, and I also had 3 diamonds for a new one. So why would I use a mending book for my cursed axe? Like, it's unlikely to break before I beat the game, and if it breaks, it's okay, I'll just craft a new one that won't have a curse. And it's better to apply mending enchantment specifically to a new axe which I hadn't even crafted. So it just wasn't necessary to get the mending book now, I could go to the end just now. Which I did. So the next goal is to go to the nether and kill the ender dragon. I was understanding that dying in the end just once will be a huge inconvenience, since first of all I will lose my axe, and second of all I will not be able to take my stuff back to the overworld. And since I was a noob, as I am now as well, I didn't know if my loot would despawn, and if yes, how fast it would. Since that I assumed that at some time my stuff will just disappear unless I go to the end to grab it, which means that without constantly going back to the end, I'll lose all of it pretty much forever. And beating the Ender Dragon was a huge challenge for me by itself, so I practiced for that a lot, and I even killed the Ender Dragon several times in some sterling conditions just to feel confident. Now that I have been practiced, it's time to go to the end for real, but first I needed to find a stronghold. That didn't seem to be a problem since they generate exposed in the air and I already had found and looted a few, so I decided to not even use Ender Eyes to locate it and just run for it straight to the west. But no matter how long would I run for, there was no stronghold to be seen. I had already run almost 45 kilometers from the spawn and still no stronghold. And here I decided to finally use an Ender Eye, and it routed me to the opposite direction. And here I tried to move really precisely.
We're on a block -41, 130 and -45, 40. I get rid of this block, I craft an Ender Eye and goes this direction, and now I see on which block it landed, like in between these two blocks. Let's check the coordinates. It moves -10 according to x and -10x and -2.5y. So wait, plus 2.5y. So it's just -4 slope. So you need to go like 4 blocks forward and 1 block to the right. That's how we should move, and that's starting from here. Yeah, so I need to write these coordinates. Okay, so yeah, so we're moving there. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm accepting that. But I can just stand on this block and then just face like in between these two blocks, then move a little bit and just don't rotate my camera. Am I a genius?
Even all those measurements weren't precise enough to me, so I improved my accuracy even more.
Okay, 25 and 9, 26 basically. Okay, let me just... Okay, now it's perfect.
But even with that, I was running for whole 12 kilometers and still hadn't found a stronghold. And here's where I started to hesitate. You see, I couldn't have chosen the direction perfectly right, there gotta be a slight error, and the longer I run, the more the error increases. Which means that at this point, I could be so far from a stronghold that it wouldn't even get into my render distance ever. So I drew another eye and defined the direction to run with a 0.1 degree accuracy. But I would run another 8 kilometers just to not find the stronghold again. So I drew another eye and it changed its direction a lot. So I decided to calculate the slopes intersection to find the exact location of the stronghold.
So we have tangent of -78 and 6 -1000. So yeah. So we have two slopes right here, two equations. And we gotta find where the slopes intersect. So now we gotta find where all these equations are equal to each other. So like this. And then we subtract this from both sides, and then we're gonna add 21,680 to both sides, and we just need to solve for x. So we just gotta get this value. I'm doing something wrong, I think.
I just could not believe the results. They were telling that the stronghold is just really close. I thought that there was something wrong with my calculations. And yeah, I needed to swap X and Z and fix some other things, but that still wouldn't help. The output result was just so low. But the thing is, that actually made sense. I was going in a direction that was extremely close to one where a knife lives. So if a knife suddenly changes its direction by 40 degrees like that, it means that the stronghold is a few hundred blocks away at maximum. So I moved all the mess aside and just moved that direction. And I was right. Here is the stronghold. I just had to loot it and go to the end. And I was hoping to get another protection book to enchant my third piece of armor, but how upset I was when I noticed that my old prot armor had just broken. My prot armor is gone forever and it sucked a lot. Well, I could do nothing but just to accept that and craft new and enchanted armor. I also crafted a shovel and mined a bunch of dirt so that I can have blocks, and looted the stronghold where I found a prot 3 book, a prot 4 book, an efficiency 4 unbreaking 3 book for my future axe, and the punch 2 book for my bow, even though this enchantment won't impact difficulty of the end in any way since you can shoot enderman with a bow and ender dragon can be punched. I also got a pearl and some iron, but the pearl one wasn't necessary because I had all 3 pearls in the portal already.
Yes, 3 eyes? Wait, I did not notice it. 3 eyes! I'm so lucky, what?
It's time to go. I was preparing really well. I right-clicked the bed, put my most valuable stuff in the chest, and locked my horse in a fence cage so that I won't lose it. Then I completed the portal. I was really nervous, so I was double-checking everything. I fixed my armor so that it won't break in the end. And this is what happened next.
Wait, my... I will go. What? Wait, what? What? Excuse me? Wait, there's no way. My anvil disappeared.
I didn't realize it right away, but my anvil broke. And yeah, I crafted a new one, but I had just one iron ingot left. If I wanna use the anvil in the end, I will definitely need more. So I killed iron golems in villages nearby. And now I'm ready for sure, but it still was very nervous. Once I come in, there will be no way back. To make things even more interesting, I decided that if I die in the end just once, I will end the video immediately.
This one will decide everything. Let's go in. Okay. Imagine I die now, like go into the void. That would be so stupid.
Remember that infinity bow? Well, now it's time to shine. And crystals were quite hard to reach for me, so without an infinity enchantment on my bow I would struggle a lot, but that wasn't even the hardest moment in beating the end. And what was is not a dragon. The thing is, I looked at not one, but multiple of Endermen, without realizing it.
Oh my god, no! Why are you attacking me?
There were a lot of them, and it seems like they were getting more and more aggroing. Even water wasn't helping much, so I decided to use my most OP weapon instead, the lava bucket. But it didn't work on them. Endermen are too fast, and they also can TP, and there was a lot of them, and they were dealing a lot of damage. I could die at any moment, and that would be a really stupid death. It would be less stupid to fail to clutch after a dragon attack. But I am now dying to Enderman, which is so ridiculous. But I lived. It was time to destroy all those crystals that were left.
Please. Okay.
And now that I got all the crystals destroyed, I now need to kill the Ender Dragon and beat the game first time ever. To beat Minecraft first time ever and to do it on a super flat world. That would be so epic. I must try my best to not mess up. That's a really responsible moment.
3, 4, 5. Oh my god.
I was getting closer and closer to my goal. I was about to do it. After 14 hours of gameplay, on day 63 in my world, my journey is about to end.
5, it's low, it's so low. Double. Oh my god. Wait. Please, come on. That is so cool. God, come on. One last hit. I'll do it with my fist. Let's go! I beat Minecraft in a super flat world. Let's go! That's a lot of XP. Ooh. Oh my god. It's actually the first time I beat Minecraft ever.